Send me pieces up back together now. What's your vision?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dead on Dave, and we are here for a brand new thing we're going to start doing, and that is the reviews of Camp WWE, baby. Woo! That's right, man. I'm obsessed with this show, and those who've been watching the reviews and stuff that I do on the channel, I basically can't go through a show without talking or referencing Camp WWE. So why not start doing the reviews? I mean, it makes all the sense in the world, and we are 3 episodes in. I believe that 3 episodes in, and they just get better and better and better each and every week. So why not start and get it going with episode number 1? That's right, number 1. So here is your Dead on Dave Productions Camp WWE episode 1 review. For those of you who don't know about Camp WWE, it is a WWE network show. It's the only adult-oriented show on the network. It's on demand only, meaning it will never be scheduled because there's too many kids on there, which is fine. And I love the fact that they're going back into some adult-oriented content. I think it's a good way to test the waters and see what type of demographic there is for it. So that was one of the first things that I really noticed about this whole idea, this whole project, is even being willing to delve into it, let alone delve into it the way they have. And that's feet fucking first. I mean, they jumped right into it. They didn't hold back. They went full balls out. The jokes that they make during the show, meta as hell. There's so many meta jokes, very self-referential, smart. There's also jokes that are not just for the everyday wrestling fans. It's just for cartoon fans as well. I think you can watch the show and not really be a wrestling fan, but still get into this show. I don't know so much for the first episode, and that's what we're talking about. This episode is not episode number 1, which of everything that's out right now, I do feel this was the weakest episode, but I really do feel that you could see all the potential. You can see what they're doing, what they're setting up, and you can see exactly what's coming in the other episodes as far as, you know, the type of humor, the type of comedy, the type of jokes that they're going to write. Some things did feel mechanical in the first episode. A lot of the plot lines, it seemed like they were just getting their feet wet. Vince McMahon, who is absolutely insane, does his own voice work for the show, as all the counselors seem to be doing at this point. You could tell that there was a little bit of a learning curve of exactly how over the top he's supposed to be. You could tell that he was really starting to get the idea of how to deliver lines in this type of manner. And as you'll hear in the episode 2 and episode 3 reviews that are coming down the pipe, it becomes so easy for him. And Vince McMahon as a character has just become this wonderful thing that progresses in such this magnificent way. It's so good, so funny, so over the top. And it all starts with this episode. Basically, what happens in this episode is this. Vince has a camp for young kids, Camp WWE, and it's all of the superstars that are in the real WWE, but as kids. And what he does is he's trying to keep the camp together while stroking his own ego, and all these wonderful little jokes that are thrown in there about, you know, Vince drinking his own Kool-Aid, as you see in this picture right here, and so many other things. It's just so funny. In episode 1, he freaks out about a possible outbreak of homesickness. And if that wasn't bad enough, the homesickness is being onset by his golden goose, John Cena. So the entire episode revolves around trying to get John Cena to realize how awesome camp is. And Vince goes about it many ways. He tries to get Triple H and Stephanie while to let Cena know how much he's loved. They try their best, but they end up arguing, and they show all kinds of great dynamic between their relationship, which is really funny. Ric Flair, the coolest guy in camp, who is voiced by Ric Flair, absolutely steals this episode with the things that he does throughout. It's just brilliant. It's so funny. It's so ridiculous. The explanation of Woo is awesome. I mean, Jesus, let's just be honest here. Ric Flair fucks everything in this show that he can. He humps a tire. He has sex with a bear twice. I mean, there's just so much that he does. There's no limits, no boundaries. It's just awesome. It's so funny. And the best part is, if you didn't catch it, Ric Flair's actual job at the camp is laundry. Rick folds laundry. And they even put in these wonderful wrestling nods, like of him fluffing pillows by dropping his elbow on them. I mean, there's just so much going on. It's great. It's just so great. So Cena is not happy. He wants to go home. Vince does everything he can, and he's convinced that if Cena wants to go home and he leaves, that it's going to be the end of Camp WWE because everybody else will be upset. But while trying to get John Cena to realize that camp is the greatest thing in the world, they inadvertently upset all the other campers, and anarchy ensues to the point where Stephanie and Triple H actually tell the campers that all their parents are dead. And it's just the reactions from different campers. We got R-Truth in there. Undertaker has a great reaction. They all do. It's so funny. The Bella twins. There's just so many good little moments throughout. But the episode does revolve around John Cena, which I think is self-referential in and of itself in a lot of ways. This tug of war between John Cena and Vince McMahon. Vince going so far as to break his own legs to get Cena to do what he wants. And another amazingly great meta joke as to get Cena to help Vince. He acts like he hurt his leg, even though it looks like he hurt his leg for real during the show. It's so great because he's like, after they get back to the camp, Vince is like, I'm fine. Cena's like, you're okay? There's nothing wrong with your legs? And Vince just says, you could just tell with a wink and a nod, oh yeah, that was a work. You know, it's just, there's so many great things throughout it. This show works on so many levels. It's so funny. And it all starts with episode number 1. So I highly recommend you check it out. It's produced and written by Aaron Blitzstein, and who does a great job. This guy's been around forever. I'm sure I said it wrong, Blitzstein. And my wife's like, it's Blitzstein. She's German. But what the hell does she know? Aaron Blitzstein has written for Mad TV, Family Guy. He's worked with Seth Green, who created the show for a long time. David Letterman. He's done so much, so it's just very cool. Crank Yankers, very cool stuff to have him aboard. And he does such a great job. As you can tell, he's an actual wrestling fan. He does a great job. The voiceover actors do a fantastic job. Most of them are not super well known yet, but they are so talented. Ashley Borneson does a fantastic job as John Cena, and later on in later episodes, The Rock. David Michael Brown does Triple H and The Undertaker. His Triple H in episode number 1 is friggin' awesome. The way he elongates everything Triple H says, you could tell that he gets it and he understands exactly what is supposed to happen with this show. My wife is crawling underneath the door. I'm sorry, it distracted me. Very funny. Frank Lawson does R-Truth. Ali Feinberg does Stephanie McMahon. It's just, there's so much going on here. These actors do a great job of bringing this material to life. So just fantastic job altogether for this first episode. Definitely room for improvement. There's no question about that. I give it a 7 out of 10, maybe the lower part of a 7, really. 6.5, 6.75 to a 7. Very solid, very good, very funny. But you could tell there's so much room for improvement, and you know that big things are coming. And spoiler alert, I've already watched the other episodes because this is weeks after the first episode. It does get better. And that's not to say that the first episode isn't fantastic. It's a starting point, and that's kind of what's cool about it. So thank you guys very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts on Camp WWE. put it in the comments section below. Also, go over to Twitter at DeadOnDaveV and let me know what you thought about it there as well. So thank you very much for joining us right here on Dead on Dave Productions. This was the first ever review of Camp WWE. More to follow, kids. More to follow. Make sure you're checking out everything that's going on within the channel. And we'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. See you next time. Keep it copious. Peace.